Hi everybody, my name is Molly and I am a third grade teacher here in the great state of Texas. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to talk about, is teaching a good job for a military spouse? When I was dating my husband, I knew that he ultimately wanted to go into the military and serve. And I thought throughout our years of dating, wow, I have the perfect job for his occupation to match up. Because as we know, one of the biggest struggles of being a military spouse is having to move around and try to find new jobs. And along the way, a lot of people were telling me, oh, that's so great that you're going to be a teacher because, they need teachers everywhere and all of that. And I just wanted to talk about, is that true? Is it really a good job? And give you some insight because there's not a lot of videos about what in the world military spouses are supposed to do. Just some disclaimers, though. This is our first place to be based. That kind of rhymes. And so I don't have all the experience in the world, and of course every state has their own requirements for being a teacher. So just keep that in mind. I'm sharing my experience. You might all have different experiences, and if you do, I'd love to hear them, and I'd love for you to share them. So you can do that in the comment section. Ew, I hate the word the comment section. It's just weird. The area that you can put comments. So let's go get ahead and get into the video. So I just broke down 2 pros of being a teacher and a military spouse, and then 2 cons. So I'll alternate them because, take the good and the bad. So the first pro, I would say, is that there, of course, are a lot of possibilities for jobs. Currently, most places in the United States are having a teacher crisis. So we need teachers, we need qualified people to fill those positions that are empty. And we can talk about the teacher shortage in another video and why in the world are most places desperate for teachers. But one pro is for sure, there's jobs out there. And I had no problem finding a job in Florida and here in Texas. Now, keep in mind, those are 2 of the 50 states. Every state has its own, shortage or maybe abundance of teachers right now. But for the most part, there are jobs out there to be teachers. So a con to kind of go against that is the amount of certifications and the amount of money that is required to gain your certification in the state that you might be teaching. So every state is going to require you to have some sort of certification in your subject area that you're teaching in. For me, I'm certified in 2 different areas in the state of Florida. I'm certified to teach K through 6 and then also 6 through 12 social sciences. And just getting that certification alone was lengthy and costly, I guess you could say. And then to get that transferred here to Texas, which I haven't even officially gotten my actual certification. Right now I'm teaching on a 1-year certificate, is going to be over $500, which is crazy. Just to apply for my, the certificate, just to even apply for it has been $200 here in Texas. So I know that each state has its own requirements, and with those requirements typically comes with a price tag. And I know in California especially, it's very pricey to become certified to teach. So although yes, you can get a job, you really have to outweigh what is that job going to cost you and how long are you going to be teaching. For some places you might be, if your husband or wife is in training, you might be there only for a year or 8 months, and I wouldn't say it's worth spending $500 plus just to teach for that amount of time financially. But hey, if it's your passion and you want to do it, all for it. For me, it just seemed worth it here because we could be here for a year or 2 years or who knows, depending on what happens with my husband's job. So for me, it was worth it here. But again, you have to really ask yourself, is that going to be worth it? Because I guarantee you, every state you go to, there's going to be a cost to teach there. And I know that there's national certificates, but I have looked up that process. It's very lengthy to even apply to that, and also that costs money as well. So that's just something to consider with teaching. Although there's jobs, there's a cost to get your certificate. My last pro is going to be the fact that you get to be a teacher, and teaching can be such a fulfilling job. It's so hard, but really it is rewarding and it's great, and it's something that you can feel good about, and I don't know, it's a good way to occupy your time, because if you are worried about, never seeing your spouse, well, guess what? The pro is they probably won't see you either because you'll be busy. But it is a really fulfilling job, and I love it. It's just tough a lot of the times, but it's a great, fulfilling job to have. So that's my other pro, is the fact that you actually get to be a teacher. That's super great. That's not sarcastic. I just feel weird being enthusiastic. And the last con is that there are different standards for the states that you're going to teach in. Now, like I said, this is kind of like shifting out the building because of Common Core, which, hey, you might not be for it, but as a military spouse, that is something that I'm glad that they're, and that was an initiative, and that is here because your kids that are going to move around are going to be eating the same standards, and then you as a teacher also are kind of going to be familiar with the standards that you have. But I will say every state has their own extra standards or just different standards, especially if you teach social studies. There's not like a adopted standards for that either. And so that's kind of a challenge, though, being able to adapt to the standards and then the lingo, and then your state's expectations. Although they're similar to other states, it's not the exact same. So that's your other con, is that you're just constantly learning and changing what you already know. So to finish this video, I wanted to close with answering the question, is teaching a military spouse friendly job? And I would just leave it with, it can be. There's a lot of possibilities for it to really work for you and your family. But I just wanted the cons to be out there and talked about, so that way you kind of know what you're getting into when you transfer state to state. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm no expert. This is our first place that we're being based at. It's my first time moving from state to state and teaching. So I do have experience, but it's not a plethora of it. And if you have experience with it, I would love to hear your opinion. And if you have any questions about what it's like to be a teacher or a military spouse, I'll try to answer it as best as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.